Hello everyone and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I'm going to be talking about Three-Headed Beast, a psychosexual relationship drama that had its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival. So, let's talk about it. Three-Headed Beast is written and directed by Fernando and Tyler Rugh. It stars Danny Hurtado, Jacob Schatz, and Cody Shook. In the quiet of a hot Texas day, Peter goes to bed with his lover. Across town, Nina wakes up with hers. Without a word, each couple bids a fond, lingering farewell, and Peter and Nina return to their cozy shared home. They operate comfortably in smiles and silence, moving about their day in percussive rhythms and worn-in grooves of a long-term healthy relationship. But something in the way they communicate is noticeably lacking. Though they are on the verge of closing their open relationship, something and someone is missing. 24-year-old Austin-based filmmakers Fernando and Tyler Rugh have crafted a film with such wisdom and confidence beyond their years. This is an assured feature debut that definitely took some real guts to pull off, but their experimentation has paid off in spades. Told with very little dialogue, paying homage to silent films of old, Three-Headed Beast tells the story of three people longing for connection and struggling with the barriers of communication. Alex is caught in the middle of Nina and Peter, who are in an open relationship. And even though they have set rules, Peter has slowly started to fall for Alex. In this wild entanglement, we see these three souls slowly start to unravel as the cracks in Nina and Peter's relationship become more volatile. This all could have been portrayed in a very melodramatic and obvious way. I mean, we have seen a lot of these open relationship films in the indie space as of late, but Andres and Rugh handle these issues with such gentle and thoughtful care. Instead of letting dialogue lead the way, the movie lets the images up on the screen do all of the talking. And just when you, as a viewer, and the characters are starting to feel exasperated by the silence, our filmmakers let free a bit of perfectly placed dialogue to ease the tension. Three-Headed Beast is less about the story at hand and more about the way these characters are feeling, and in turn, how those feelings can move the audience. Rugh and Andres let the camera follow our characters around, doing everyday commonplace things like going to work, taking a shower, having sex, going to the club, or even sleeping, sometimes in a three-way shot where we get to see what all of them are doing at once, which gives us a uniquely intimate perspective into their lives. By the end of the film, you will feel as if you know all three of these normal, ordinary people on a personal level, which adds to the weight of Three-Headed Beast as a whole. This is a movie, just like its characters, that has so much to say, but does it in so many little subtle ways. This idea that we are all imprisoned by our inability to effectively communicate with one another, which in turn affects our relationships, pervades every second of the movie. In one scene, Alex is lying in bed and writes out a full text message explaining everything that he is feeling to Peter, but in fear of rejection, decides not to send it. In another, Nina is getting stoned and has a silent recognition of a funny coincidence, which is only ruined once the guy she is hanging out with blurts out what she is thinking on the inside. Communication, whether it be the unneeded presence of it or the lack thereof, is something that we as humans will struggle to find balance with for our entire lifetime. And those struggles have never been brought to life in a more beautiful and thought-provoking way. All of these insights come to fruition through the magnetic, naturalistic performances of Danny Hurtado, Jacob Schatz, and Cody Shook. These three actors let it all lay bare. allowing the camera and thus the audience into their own personal world. And the moment that they all finally speak, I was a little worried that the sense of rawness that had been built in silence would be shattered, but luckily they are able to hold their own with the dialogue in a very pensive scene that they share together. One thing I must note is that because of the lack of dialogue and the subject material, Three-Headed Beast is not the most accessible film. It's not a movie to just pop on to enjoy. This is a challenging, slow-moving, and methodical piece of work, so you will definitely need to be in the mood for something like this before you decide to watch. None of this would have worked if Fernando Andres and Tyler Rugh didn't go for broke as they have with their film. This is one of the most intoxicating movies I have had the pleasure to lay my eyes on in quite some time. And the visuals are only heightened by the masterful sound design and lyrical score. Their screenplay is also so expertly crafted. Small, minute details that might seem inconsequential at first all end up having real nuanced payoffs. The way in which they are able to take genre conventions and turn them on their head in endlessly inventive ways is nothing short of a miracle. The filmmakers have said in interviews that they were nearly going to give up on Three-Headed Beast after so many rejections from film festivals. And I must admit, a nearly silent bisexual polyamory drama isn't the easiest sell. But Tribeca was one of their last shots at getting their film seen, and after paying for the submission fee by doing countless days of Uber Eats, their movie finally got its world premiere. And I am so happy that this movie was able to see the light of day. For any fans of experimental independent cinema, this is not to be missed. So I will be giving Three-Headed Beast 4 bottles of red wine out of 5. This is a near masterpiece, and one of the most exciting feature debuts I have seen in a very long time. Three-Headed Beast is a hypnotic sensory feast that is both powerful and thought-provoking. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel and my review for Three-Headed Beast. What are your thoughts on this film? Do you think it's going to be your cup of tea? And what are some of your favorite independent relationship dramas? Sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.